Hi there! Augie and I are joining you once again from the fabulous studios at Casa Richard Productions, aka our living room in lovely far South Austin. And from across Texas, let's see what CTG viewers spotted recently in their gardens. We've had an unusually rainy summer, so fungal diseases are running rampant. Helen Johnson's hydrangea in a patio container made it through the freeze and was looking great. Then these spots showed up and quickly spread. This appears to be Cercospora leaf spot, a fungal pathogen that can explode under the right conditions. As with all microbial issues, the first line of attack is to remove and toss as much of the infested plant tissue as possible. A fungicide may also be used, especially if the infestation covers so much of the plant that removing all of the spore-infested tissue isn't possible. Although it looks odd, this strange growth on a native Texas mountain laurel is nothing to worry about. Viewer Katie grabbed a great shot of a tree that she and her husband grew from seed. This fascinating phenomenon is called fasciation. It develops when the growing point of a plant, the apical meristem, where cell division occurs, becomes distorted and crescent-shaped. Although scientists have some theories, there's no definitively known cause for fasciation. It does tend to happen repeatedly on some species, including Texas mountain laurels, but equally possible it may never happen again on the same plant. Now here's a first for CTG and for Melinda McGowan and her neighbors in the Houston area. Melinda spotted tiny pink moths circling her salvia on July 31st, and by August 6th, caterpillars were chewing the plants to pieces. Yikes! This is the southern pink moth, and salvias are the host plant for its larvae. Now that the adults are flitting around, there's likely no benefit of treating for the larvae. But watch closely next season in early spring, once the flower buds start to form, and use a product containing Bacillus thuringiensis if you notice any holes or other telltale signs of a recurring infestation. And here's another first, also in the Houston area. Bridget Bircher discovered these plump caterpillars on her native Esperanza. Since she gardens for wildlife, she first wants to know more about these creatures before deciding whether or not they warrant any concern. Well, this big guy is the larva of a plebeian sphinx moth. Adults lay eggs on their host plants, which include Esperanza, trumpet vine, and passion vine. Although hatching caterpillars voraciously eat the foliage, the small infestation won't cause permanent damage to a mature plant, which will respond to being eaten by producing new growth much the same way it would if you pruned it. Bagworm moth larvae construct distinctive cases of silk encompassing foliage from their host plant. George Horn spotted a few in his spicewood garden. In Texas, there are many species of bagworms that attack trees and shrubs, including junipers and cedars. If birds or insects don't naturally control them, simply pluck them off, or break up the bag encasing them to shake them loose. Once the caterpillars are encased in their protective threads, pesticides will do them no harm and are a waste of time and money. In Frisco, Debbie Basham's gorgeous Rudbeckia flowers are attracting a crowd too. Crescent butterflies and bees make a mad dash to nectar up on those fiery summer flowers. Debbie wrote excitedly, "They are so drawn to the Rudbeckia, and I'm also thrilled to finally see bees this year." In Cedar Park, Chris Frazier invites many pollinators and birds to his newly installed front yard rill and the flowers that line it. He tells us that he started building the water feature as a DIY project in 2019, and with COVID in 2020, it was his mental therapy finishing it up. Chris also says that he's still enjoying finding plants and flowers to complement it, and reports that he was thrilled to see neon skimmers, a dragonfly in the skimmer family, zoom around the garden and the water. He told us it was a great day to work in the yard. What a beautiful project, Chris. The diversity in Emma Donaldson's pocket garden attracts moths, bees, butterflies, and hummingbirds. In this small space, she mingles trumpet flower datura, flame-colored Pride of Barbados, and yellow Esperanza. In Ropesville, Monica and Jose Rubalcaba invite pollinator crowds to their stunning cactus flowers and report that sunflowers are also favorites for birds, bees, and butterflies, including the monarch that stopped by. William Bauta plans for ongoing flowers and wildlife habitat all year long. In a partly sunny spot, he's got frostweed, Greg's mistflower, coneflowers, various salvias, horseherb, frogfruit, red buckeye, and pigeonberry. But wait, there's more! Chili pekin, Lindheimer muley, anise hyssop, rock penstemon, Turk's cap, and Perry's agave. Wow, William, in such a small space, you've got everything covered. Near Burnett at Buchanan Dam, Marty Huskins grabbed some great summertime shots of a cicada emerging from its skin on an oak tree. Near Houston, David Hamilton described this plant as a great example of nature's art. This beauty is Clerodendron ugandense, native to Africa. Although its top froze to the ground in February, its roots survived, and David reports that now it's nearly 7 feet tall. It's often called blue butterfly bush, since the flowers look like butterflies, but he's only spotted bees on those enticing flowers. These lovely plumerias are going strong for Robert Gonzalez near Bryan College Station. He's still got a dozen of them in containers, though he lost 2 of the largest in the freeze. They were over 12 feet tall, so he had to lay them down in the garage. The concrete floor froze, killing the branches in contact with it, but the upright ones fared well. And then, wouldn't you know it, hail blasted the poor plants when he brought them out this spring. No problem. Robert fertilizes every 2 to 3 weeks during the growing season, but any fertilizer with a ratio similar to 5:30:5 will work. You're looking for a high middle number, which is phosphorus. These products are often labeled bloom boosters. Brian Tabone's plumerias survived the deep freeze in a 4x4x5 plastic zip-up greenhouse on the deck with a small space heater. In summer, his plumerias reside in dappled sunlight on their deck for close-up whiffs. Brian says they fertilize with a soluble, high-phosphorus food about once a month. And we'd love to hear from you. Click on over to centraltexasgardener.org to send us your photos, videos, and stories.